So Modern Warfare 2, the game that started it all for me, not only was this the first Call of Duty game that I ever played, but it was also the first M-rated game that I was allowed to play, at least. Yeah, so it's been 16 years now since MW2 came out. So how is it in 2025? Well, I'm happy to report that this game still has a pretty active and healthy player base after so many years, surprisingly. I think it's just because of how awesome the game was, and still is. It's still a lot of fun. Definitely, if you've never played it before, you're in for a surprise. It's just how broken and unbalanced this game is. It's definitely the most unbalanced multiplayer experience that you could ever have. I mean, between the noob tubes and danger close, and there's so many different broken things that were never patched in this game. They actually meant to patch it, I think it was back in June or July of 2010, when the game was still in its prime and during its peak, but that was also around the time that Infinity Ward shut down temporarily because all the employees walked out after West and Zampella, the founders, were fired by Activision, and that fucked up a lot of things, obviously, including the development of Modern Warfare 3. But yeah, that's a whole story that I'm sure a lot of you guys know if you were around back then. But as far as how it's doing in 2025, as I alluded to, there is a pretty active community, mostly on the Xbox, and there's still some people on PC. PlayStation 3, also there's some people, but because there's an issue with the matchmaking where if you create a new account, you're unable to play the game. Well, actually, that's not true. You can play the game, but you can't rank up, so it's pretty much unplayable if you're just forced to use default weapons every single time you play. Not really that fun. So yeah, that's kind of killed the community on the PlayStation 3 over the years. And it's not even brand new PSN accounts. It's if you didn't play Modern Warfare 2 on your current PSN account prior to the 2019 PSN name change update, then you cannot play this game properly. You're not allowed to rank up, and it's just, yeah, it's not. Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, obviously you can play on those consoles because of the backwards compatibility that that those consoles have from the Xbox 360, and that's definitely helped keep that game alive. The matchmaking was broken for a number of years. If you guys may remember, the backwards compatibility kind of fucked up the matchmaking for a long time, where the Xbox One players weren't able to play with the 360 players, and it was impossible to find games. That got fixed a couple of years ago. I think it was 2021, if I'm not mistaken. So it's been fixed for a while. It's been good for a while. No issues since. Don't really run into a lot of cheaters either. So it's all good. Like, you'll be able to find matches pretty much every day, most times of the day, except for, like, obviously the odd hours, like 3 o'clock in the morning or something like that. You're probably not going to be able to get shit. There's obviously still DLC players, because this is a DLC map that I am playing on. So that's pretty cool. PC is interesting because it's split between different communities. There's the base Steam version, which I do not recommend because I had an issue where I pretty much lost control of my PC and a bunch of weird shit was happening trying to get into a public game. So do not play the game just straight off of Steam. There's also the IW4X client, which is a custom server client that is a lot safer. You won't get hacked or anything. And, but it's still also, like, just not Modern Warfare 2. It's the same thing with, like, every other Call of Duty game on PC. There's just so much custom modded shit, and there's, like, it's way more than 12 players, so it's not a lot of fun. And there's also the MW2 Remastered mod, which I'm going to talk about in a different video. I'm going to play that eventually. I haven't played it yet, but from what I've seen, it doesn't actually have a very large amount of players, sadly. So we'll get into that later on, but yeah, overall, MW2 is still alive, still kicking. You'll definitely have your best experience playing this on Xbox, and hopefully it still continues to go on for many more years, because this game fucking rules, and it's one of the greatest multiplayer games of all time.